A very good afternoon to Miss Fiona, lecturer for PBI 1122, Preparatory English 2. Today we are from Group 3. We'll present our assessment 3 from the third question and explain one of the natural disaster, which is flood. My name is Muhammad Firdaus bin Muhammad ROSLAN with metric number 75609. He's a first year student of the second semester in the Faculty of Language and Communication at University Malaysia Sarawak. Floods are one of the most natural and dangerous disasters. Flood occur when water accumulates in one place and there is no place for the accumulated water to flow. It often happens because of heavy rains. Besides, the overflow, rivers and snowmelt can also be a cause for this natural disaster. Landslides are one of the effects of floods. It also due to human action. For example, bridges, cars, households and even people can be swept away by flooding. Flooding also destroys crops and can harm trees and other important land resources. Some of these floods take several days or even a month to reduce due to size, duration and area changes. On February 5, news came out that Sarawak was hit by a disaster. This because Sarawak was hit by a flood earlier this year in several areas such as Tatau, Song, Serian and Samarahan. Therefore, as a precaution in several parts of the state in Kuching, Serian, Samarahan, Sri Aman, Betong, Sariki, Sibu, Mukah, Kapit and Bintulu has been warned about this. Just about a month after the first wave of floods, several places in the city here was hit by another round of rainwater disaster today following torrential rain occurring since last night. These floods due to climate change this year are quite unusual and several other states have also experienced it before. The extraordinary floods that have hit Sarawak over the past 2 days have nothing to do with the drainage problem and it is not a major problem. Instead, the effects of climate change are happening in the country. The Chief Minister Dato' Patinggi Abang Johari Abang Openg said what happened 2 days ago was due to heavy rain and high tide. He said the Malaysian Meteorological Department predicted that the situation will continue for another 2 to 3 days and residents living in low-lying areas, especially on the riverbank, should always be vigilant and obedient if instructed to evacuate. We can conclude that flood is a type of natural hazard affecting human and natural habitats or even killing them. A flood can also cause severe damage to homes, factories and places in public, but it is in the hand of human beings to ensure it doesn't impact our daily life. That's all from me. The other presentation we will continue with other group members.
Why and how it occurs? Sarawak always facing with a flood problem whenever there is rainy season or during northeast monsoon in November to February. The worst flood even was in 1963, 2004 and 2009, but in previously 10 years, Sarawak experienced almost flooded even every year, whether is it worse or normal. Flood occurrence in Sarawak also relate to the natural phenomena and human activity. This is because, first, heavy rainfall is the simplest cause of flooding. When there is too much rain or happen too fast, there is just not in a place for it to go. This can result in flood like flash flooding. Second, overflowing rivers are another cause of flood. You don't necessarily need heavy rain to experience river flooding. As we mentioned before, river flooding can happen when there is debris in the river or dam that block the flow of the water. Third, speaking of dam, broken dams are another cause of flooding. Other infrastructure can fail when heavy rain come and water level rise. So, when dam break, they unleash torrent of water on unsuspectingly household. This is part of what happens when a high volume of water is being released from 210-meter high Beacon Dam in central Sarawak due to heavy rain. So the entire riverine population living along the Bolui River to Rajang River to Kapit Town to Sibu in central Sarawak have been warned of the swift rising river water. 5. Flooding often occurs when there is fast runoff into lake, river, and other basins, this is often the case with the river and channel that feature steep sides. So these are not the all seasons that flooding can happen, but they are some of the most common.
Hi, my name is NORHASTIRAH binti ANSO. My metric number is 76104. Today, I will present about the example of natural disaster. The example of natural disaster is flood. Floods are one of the most common hazards in the world. They occur when land that is normally dry experiences an overflow of water. Several events cause floods including hurricanes and tropical storms, field dams, and flash floods that occur within a few minutes or hours of extensive rainfall. Although coastal areas are more vulnerable to floods, particularly during hurricane season, they can occur anywhere and can vary in size and duration. Even very small streams, gullies, and creeks that may appear harmless in dry weather can flood. The physical destruction of a flood can vary, with some carrying away everything in a path, including houses, cars, and even people who may be trapped or wading in water. Further, the economic loss from hazardous flood conditions can be significant, costing in the billions. It's normal for people to experience emotional distress during a flood. Simply anticipating the possibility of what could be lost or destroyed during a flood can cause people to get panic and lose sleep.
Assalamualaikum and salam sejahtera. My name is AMANINA binti NAZARUDIN, number matric 77124. I'm from group 3 and I want to present about the natural disaster it flood. Why it is dangerous. Firstly, is why flood is dangerous is because electrical hazards. So, if you come into close contact to the flood water, your home not fully removed from the grid, you risk electrocution. Coming into a flooded basement before a licensed electrician or emergency workers such as from the fire department or utility company has a deconnection your home from the grid completely. Second point is why flood is dangerous. It is because health danger of flood water. As we all know that flood water is too much toxic that can cause of illness. As we all know that the flood is dangerous because it is speed and wrong power. Speed and wrong power is flooding rate that any another natural disaster is blamed for. Flooding rate that another natural disaster is blamed for more death around the world. So with the intensity and strength shown by the flash flow is no surprise. So the point that I give is show that why flood is so dangerous. That's all for me. Thank you.
Good evening, Miss Fiona. My name is ANIDA SYAFIQAH binti ALBAKRI and my metric number is 65449. The conclusion is we are have responsibility to aware and have early preparation to faces about this phenomena. Because it's not only dangerous to us, it also can destroy our precious habitat and it will affect our economic status in our country. Because it has take $1 billion money to rebuild everything as usual. And that's all for us. Thank you.